We also need to change browser name, or stream name. We need to go to our browser to change stream name. Factorio, constructing the final chip. Factorio. Let's get started. So last time we constructed this thing, all of this junk on Aquila. It makes railguns. And what I realized after we were done is that in addition to making railguns and fusion reactors and fusion generators, I also need to make fusion cores. So we need to set up one more factory to make fusion power cell, which is holmium, lithium, ammonia. That should be about the easiest thing in the world because we can just tack it onto the end of this belt. We have ammonia here. We can borrow it from this pipe. We have an underground right there that's suited for it. I have to make you in cryo plants. I don't know if I have a cryo plant right now. Should maybe set up automated cryo plants too. Yeah, let's do that. Give me my AM3. Give me cryo plants. You are going to be missing either ice platform or concrete or both. Looks like ice platform. With that taken care of, you will need requester, storage, and then you can actually sit there. And out. Logistic filter here is cryo plant. Logistics network here is if cryo plant is less than 200. I don't know. We might need them. And then your requests are for cryo plants. There we go. All of this stuff ends up in the logistics network at one point or another. So we should just be able to let that sit there. And then as soon as you've made me a cryo plant, I can get my fusion power cells crafting. And then we're also just waiting for these to finish, but I'm pretty sure these, what did these run out of actually? Blue chips. Where are we getting blue chips from? Nauvis? No, you need to import them. That's why you ran out. Why don't you bring... No, 1,200 is going to be way too many. Bring like 600. And then leave space belt rocket parts as well. For purity of purpose. So that'll get you blue chips back out here so that you can be making your quantum processors. As well as so that you can be making all your other stuff over here, basically. You're out of lithium, Brian. Oh, right, because you don't connect. We can at least get that running. That's just there to make it tileable eventually. Good. How are you doing on your lithium, Brian? You're down to 546K. You found more, but you are going to need to train that back at some point, and that's going to be a whole thing. That is going to be a whole process for you to try and negotiate. How are you doing? waiting for heat pipes, and then also waiting for a little bit of nuclear fuel, waiting for all of your carbon fiber, and then waiting for like 300 more processors. Now this needs more rocket silos. This is an insufficient amount of rocket silos. It feels like, well, actually, maybe your limit is bots now that you look at it. It's like they queue up for it, but they also take a while to fly. No, it's rocket silos, man. Just make more. There you go. Get two more of those. Oh, you don't have rocket silos automated, I don't think. Is it time? Is it time to automate rocket silos? If rocket silos less than 10, then you make rocket silo. You have all of this in your network. Except blue chips, apparently. No, you have blue chips. Your drones just haven't gotten around to it. You taxed your grid too heavily. But we'll get those made up, and then we'll have two more rockets to send. That should speed things along for when we need to do a lot of crafting or shipbuilding. And then how are you doing on the startup process? You're at 16K of 25. You're getting there. You're slowly getting there. I guess if you really wanted to make fuel, you could just disable these 6. Like this. And then you can let some oxide flow into here. As soon as this machine fills anyway. So maybe that'll speed your journey along a bit. And then just carbon fiber. With 1,000 on the way. Sounds good. Labs are out of Gleba science. We can work on railgun shooting speed quick. And we could also work on... No, those will take Gleba science. Could do another rocket part productivity. Let those run. You are off to Aquilo. Good. We'll meet you there. You have all of the supplies that we're going to need to keep things running over there. How are the Gleba ships doing? You haven't satisfied all your requests. Not enough to fill one rocket. Can I just set like a custom value? Would that work for you? Yeah, I think so. How about this? We're going to add repair packs to nuclear space fuel. I don't make repair packs. That would be why. Holy cow, no wonder. Where's an assembly machine that's not being used? You. And you have space to unload things as well. You make repair packs. When repair packs are less than 100 times 40. Copy the requests over here. Let's start making those. That explains a lot about why we don't have gleboscience right now, because that's your job. No, that's your job. Your bioflux. I guess that explains why the hive went offline then. Because you just haven't been running because you've been waiting to repair. Finally have fuel. So if I have fuel, I can actually just send you. Just go to Fulgora and collect some asteroids. Oxide specifically. You have enough water reserves that you shouldn't need to shut it off. You are going to be drifting here a little bit. But as long as you can make it to these, you'll be just fine. Yes, there you go. Good. And then with that much oxide on the belt, you can probably enable these again. But do I have to uncheck you like this? There we go. There we go. That's going to start making ice. And drifting should be fine. I just want to be able to reach these medium oxide asteroids because it's going to make water come in so much faster. If we end up drifting back to Nauvis, that's fine. Who cares? And you've unloaded, so all of you should be running now. No, you still don't have blue chips. You unloaded them all. Oh, it's a bot throughput issue. Got it. All right, take this one cryo plant. Put it here, I guess. You're going to make fusion power cell. You're going to have a requester that lives here. You're going to have a storage chest that lives here. You're going to have a heat pipe that lives here. We're also going to square this off. You're actually going to do that. How are you out of range of power? Really? You are. That's annoying. I'm going to put these in the back then. You come out here and in here, and you insert from here. And then you go down here and up here. Actually, you don't even need to do that. You can just go all the way through. Annoying. Fine. You win this one. Then I'll do the requester and provider back here. That's out of logistics range. You'll have to do it here. But not holmium. And only fusion power cells. And connected to logistics. And you make, oh my god, rocket capacity is 50. We can send up so many more. Is that too many? Probably. We'll do that. You are attempting to produce. You've only made one. But these are running again, at least. What you need? What kind of snack? I have these. They are room temperature. You can have some.
Very good.
You're welcome. Careful, it's open like all the way down.
Danger.
Don't let them fall out.
Oh, Robinson.
All yours.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, outer ocean.
Hello. It's a quiet one tonight. We're just chilling.
Cool.
I had to command tonight, so stream engagement is not like amazing when I have to pay attention to what's going on in game.
I get it.
Holy cow, we made 18 of these already? That's crazy. We've burned through all of our processing units though.
Good.
I feel like I need more than 600. Maybe like 1200. No, well, maybe like 900. We need a ton of processing units up here though. You're almost done stopping at Volcanus, and then you'll be good. You have topped up your water. That's great. Let's turn your rocket production on now. Why do you not cast? There you go. Alright, so you're making rockets. You will be able to travel to Aquilo soon. We're not ready yet, but you will be soon. And then we need to start thinking about sending up rocket capacity 1. I actually don't need to think about sending up railguns yet. What I would like to do is build a fusion reactor so that I have an idea of how they work. Hello? That's just the broken stuff back on Novice. You've chewed through all of your blue chips already. $30 looks like it should be just enough time. Because it can't leave until the actual resource pods drop off on the ship. There they go. And then there should be some tungsten carbide coming as well. Yeah? No, there's still more ingot coming. There's the tungsten carbide. How much more are you loading? Doesn't look like you're loading anything anymore. Oh, there's the last load. All right, you're in motion again. Good. So we should be able to leave Aquilo here shortly. I think we've set up everything we need to do. I just want to build this reactor prototype. And we're still going to need to keep this nuclear reactor here because it's our primary heat source in this place. We don't really have enough heating towers, I think, to handle the full heat generation for this base. So we're probably just going to keep this nuclear reactor around to do nothing but consume nuclear fuel cells, which all of our ships carry anyway, to pump out heat to keep the base balmy. So you're going to have now these. You're going to pick up 600 more processing units. We finished our launch pads, so we can now send 8 rockets at a time. That means we can send up 800 blue chips at once. You need more than that on this pickup, though. Also need refined concrete, uranium fuel, carbon fiber, processing units. There's a bunch of stuff that hasn't even been sent yet. So this is where the 10 seconds past really comes in handy. How's our power grid look down here? We're still not really taxing it. How are you doing on rockets, my friend? We have 136. We're not quite ready to send you yet, but we're getting there. So you just finished a Gleba technology. Grab artillery damage, blue chip production, health, and rocket fuel. I don't want to expand artillery range yet. I want to be on Nauvis when that happens, just in case something goes catastrophically wrong. But it's been a long time since we used volcanoscience for anything, so we might as well do that. Really just need 2 more processors, huh? How about this? Just to get it built. I'm pretty sure you can't prod these because it's a finished product. I think you can only prod intermediates. But I'll double check. Yeah. Railgun will not be intermediate. Generator will not be intermediate. Oh, apparently fusion power cells are intermediate though. But do you really need them there? Not really. Like none of this stuff is that expensive. 5 lithium is like a little bad, but we can get more lithium. There's 4.3 down there, and we still have 542 here. And with our level of mining prod, it's like 23 right now. We should be fine. So grab this, grab this. Time to figure out how these work. They are fluoroketone neutral. So I could put them here and I could plug them into this fluoroketone pipe and they would be fine with that. They would not complain. Let me go off the construction grid to build this initially. And to start, I'm just going to use 1. So just something like that. Hot fluoroketone. We can route through the quantum processors as a waste product. What do you put it at the top up here? Kind of, yeah. But not really, though. Or you could extend it even further here. Don't mind that either. In fact, that might be the one. Actually, hang on. Can I change this orientation? No. I wanted to see if I could get it to work like this, but that will not work. There's no way to take the fluoroketone out. So yeah, don't overthink it. Just have it be like this. Plop it down right about here. Build it. You're going to need more ice platforms for that. Destroy all that. Bring some power in. This apparently doesn't need to be heated, which is kind of nice. The inserters will be, but the actual generator itself does not need to be. So you would come out here. Oh, these don't have pass-throughs. Yeah. So you actually need to take the hot fluoroketone out of each one of them individually. That's interesting. So you can have it come up like this. Oh, thank you. Are you departing once again?
Yes.
Okay. I will be done soonish. I'm not going to go super late tonight. Bring this heat pipe over. Bring this heat pipe over. Wrap you around. Bring you down. Further. You can also be in charge of heating here. And then that one you can pull around. And then you can have this do the insertion of your fuel cells, which is going to go here. Ratio is 1 to 2. Oh, you're right. I was thinking about the double reactor. Yeah. I was thinking about the 2 to 8 that I'm going to build for the ship eventually. All right, so I can kill these two. Or I could just tack a second reactor onto it, but I don't think I need that much power on Aquila. So you go here. And then I can actually get you closer to my roboports by a pretty wide margin. You also don't need all of this heat pipe running. Can stop there. We'll leave the concrete. It's not really hurting anybody. You can request here. You can request here. Fusion power is smart or lossless or however you want to call it. So I don't need to circuit any of this. It'll just kick on all by itself. And then I also need to get your fluid in, which we'll do here. Technically, you don't need to be there. Grab a few more ice platforms. And off you go. It is running. Lovely. So that takes a ton of load off of the steam, or off of the nuclear reactors, hypothetically. In fact, if you really wanted to, you could disconnect them from power altogether. Or disconnect their steam altogether. You know, you might as well. So you can sever here. This water doesn't need to go anywhere else. But we can just get rid of all of these. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this extra power, but it'll be nice to have it. So we'll bleed that system out of steam, and then we'll take the rest of it apart. I'll just let you sit here and run. So you produce 50. produce 100. The nuclear ships currently don't have a neighbor bonus because they're both off. It should be 160. 141, close enough. The ratio is not quite right. So 2 nukes makes 160. 1 fusion generator only makes 100. You are going to need double fusion generators on your system edge ship if you want to use fusion. And you might as well use fusion because using fusion will be fun. But you're going to need to let this thing sit here for a while to collect all of the railguns and chips and etc. that's necessary. How are you doing on rockets? Are you ready to come and pick me up yet? You are. That's great. Go to Aquilo, add a circuit condition, and come and pick me up. Feel like I might want even more charging down here. I have a couple more of these. Just give the bots a few more places to power up. Also, what happened here? Is Fusion thieving all of your lithium right now? It is. That insert... No, it's not. You're fine on science. It can't grab fast enough. You have full lithium uptime. That inserter's just having a difficult time of things because it can't get there fast enough most of the time. I'm fine with that. We should be prioritizing science anyway, because eventually science will back up naturally. The other thing that you should do here, make a storage chest, have it hold cryoscience, have it insert, but not all the time. And then if you need to commission this rocket to get off the planet, you can take the cryoscience that's currently in the silo, dump it into the storage chest, take off, and then rotate that inserter so that it can put the science back in. It's incredibly scuffed, but I don't feel like making a second platform, so this is the solution that we're going to use. You are halfway to Aquilo, and you've run out of thruster fuel. How is this possible? I guess you're just burning through it all, because they're all running. Yeah, alright, you're just using it as fast as you consume it, which is fine. This ship is, for the most part, built to do that. It won't run at 100% all the time, but I'm pretty sure it can run at 80% forever as long as asteroids are coming in. So you're good. We're going to rotate you, and we're going to prepare to take off. We can put all of our things in a box. We can wait for you to arrive. Good. And then you're held here with a circuit condition. So travel to the Expeditioner. Rotate these inserters around. They'll start to put back in as soon as there's another rocket ready. And then that will turn on our automated flow of science again. And the next time we come and park over Aquilo, it is going to be in the solar system that travels to the edge to mount... No, you're going to need to bring a fusion lab, or you're going to need to bring a fusion reactor back at some point. Because you'll need the ship to be running off of fusion to fly it out to Aquilo, but you don't actually need to ship the railguns off surface until you're ready to install them on the ship. So you take me back to Novice. You're just going to have a circuit condition that's going to hold me in orbit forever. You've already built up your thruster fuel again. Good. And then as soon as we land on Alvis again, we are grabbing a space platform starter pack, and this is going to be the ship that goes to the edge. We'll do a pit stop at Gleba, and then we will be back home. Everything here should run, except that you're bottlenecked on how many rockets we can shoot off of Novi's surface at the same time. Although you are held up on fuel cells more often than you probably should be. But you have 50 on board, so it should be fine. I think you take off when you get these processing units in refined concrete. Which, incidentally, we are burning through refined concrete. What do you go into? The railguns? No. Not the reactors, not the generators. Is that all going into the cryo plants? I guess it's all getting eaten by the cryo plants. Oh, you are shipping some up. Alright, fair enough. And then you will be heading back very shortly. Meanwhile, the Expeditioner has made it to Gleba. We are now turning the corner off to Novis. Research is going fine. You are off to Gleba now. I'm going to take you to Aquila. Yeah, you're fine. This ship is slow, though. I need this ship to make more trips. It picks up too much stuff, I think. I'm getting bottlenecked on rocket launches for that ship more than anything else, I think. Which means we're going to have to extend you to, like, 10 and 12 shortly. But at least you've got this nice baked-in productivity now. Off we go. And then can I use you like a train? I copy a space platform hub, and I paste it. It does. It just grabs everything. And then I just need to turn all of these on. Or on 2 on science, why not? Auto request missing construction materials? What are you missing? Oh, auto, I see. You have unfulfilled requests. Got it. All right. Yeah. Send some more of that stuff up. In the meantime, let's go build our space platform starter pack. We're going to need steel. We're going to need space platform foundation, which hopefully has had a chance to recover. Kind of. Get the starter pack going. Add a space platform. This is going to be... I mean, it doesn't go to a planet. It's the solar system edge. This is like the Far Horizons Explorer. And we're going to create you on Novis. As soon as Novis is done requesting, probably. After rocket fuel, why don't you grab shooting speed? Why don't you grab scrap reprocessing? And then we'll do plastic productivity again. No, we should take care of some of these that take every science. Like, we'll just do portable fusion quick. We're not going to need it, but I'll research it just to get it out of the way. This does look cool when they're all launching. Also, holy cow, kind of running out of rocket fuel. Impressive. I like that we're consuming that much. How's the extra productivity doing for you, though? Can I watch it work? No, that's solid fuel from oil. Yeah, it's good. Hey, we never even upgraded these to threes. We could generate so much more rocket fuel if we wanted to. I actually don't think we have the oil throughput to manage it. Last time I looked at our oil throughput, it was pretty cheeks. Although it looks like it's caught up now. Guys, we're still supplying this thing up with its initial load of goodies. We can send down some of the stuff that you don't need, though. Like, all of this is stuff that we can use to make new ships. So we'll just put it back on the surface. And then you're finally done. We'll send you up. Right, I need to go recapture those. Now that we've hopefully fixed our bioflux throughput issues. Capture bot rockets, please. Thank you. Let's go get this fixed really quick. That red circuit's not keeping up. Red circuits are really a bottleneck for us right now. Wow. I wonder if that's why we're short on science. No, it's not going to be for red or green. Like, red or green's not keeping up, and we don't have enough. They don't use red circuits, so it shouldn't matter. All right, biter nests. Let's get you turned back on. How fresh is this bioflux? It's fresh enough. There we go. Shouldn't have to worry about that anymore. Until it breaks again. Which it inevitably will. But we don't need it to last that much longer. That uranium patch is fine. Head back to base. Let's start planning this ship. I expect it to look not vastly different from the ship that goes to Aquilo. But maybe I should look at the asteroid density heading out this way. Wait, have I not researched Solar System Edge? I didn't know I had to, but maybe I have to? Oh, it's Prometheum Science that researches it. Okay. Let's do it now, just so that I can look at what the asteroid density is like out there. I may need more rocket turrets, but I'm hoping I don't. If I could just use the level of production that the current platform is able to generate and staple some railgun turrets to it, that would be ideal. Okay. Far Horizons Explorer. First of all, don't auto request missing construction materials because I'm going to design you. Second, learn from your previous mistakes. Your entire job is to empty water barrels. Here, here. Who am I talking to? I'm giving myself reminders, otherwise I'll forget. But honestly, I'll probably forget anyway. So fusion here. Second fusion here. Generators here, 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 here. Can't immediately think of a reason why this doesn't work, but we'll keep this design for now and we'll figure out why we don't like it later. You are going to need to cool this. I don't like that they don't line up. How much cooling do you actually need to generate? You consume, you generate 2 per second, 4 per second. We're going to have 8 of those. So we're going to need to cool 16 per second. Oh, you're here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, you're going to need to cool 16 per second. How much does a single one of these do? 4. Oh, you're going to need 4 of these? Okay. That's fine. We can actually have the whole thing just be a connected system. You could get more space efficient than that, actually. You could do this. And then over here, do the same thing. No, because then your fusion doesn't have a pass-through. You need these to be like this. Yeah, you'll just have to live with the asymmetry. So we can slide all these down one more. Doesn't even need to be underground. And then they'll also need to feed into this one. But really, you could just go like this. Flip horizontal. Go like this. Flip horizontal. And then go like this. Flip vertical. Sort of. It's not exactly what you're going for, but it'll do. Ugh, I don't like that. And you also can't do that. All right, fine, pull it out. It's just going to be a little wasted space. And then fill it in so it's not a donut. If you pull this back by 1, you can actually fit some accumulators in here. Or turrets, if you're feeling like you're going to need them. So at least you'll have some usable space in here. Just do something like that as a placeholder. Oh, and how are you gonna actually get fusion power cells in there? Yeah, you didn't think about that. Oh, what have you rotated? This will work. You don't need to. You definitely need to put fusion power cells in this thing to get them to run. Don't need 4 cryo. You sure? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And these handle 4 per second. So 4, 8, 12, 16. Is it because they're never going to be under max load? So like it's only 2 per second if the entire thing is running under max power. Move generator a bit and put gap between reactor. Move generator and put gap between reactor. I mean, I was gonna move these out 1 because then I can have a belt go underground here and do insertion. But if I oh, I see what you're saying because I don't need no because then they don't get neighbor bonus. I want them to have neighbor bonus. They have to be touching. Unless their neighbor bonus works differently than fusion reactors. I'll just use speed modules. I'd rather have it be like a big chunky ship. I want it to look cool. It's also semi-symmetric right now. It's not exactly symmetric now that I look at it. I'm gonna need to go here to be exactly symmetric. Reactors stay together. Move the generators to create a gap between them. But then they can't feed the plasma into each other because you can't pipe plasma, right? Or do you mean like slide one of these down to here and then they still have pass-throughs? I guess I could see that, but then I can't fit these 2 in the middle because I don't have anywhere to slide this one. Like, I think this will work. I can just do it like this. We can have one inserter that takes out of here. They only feed from side. Ah, I see. They feed from side, not intake. Interesting. Okay. I think this will work though. Like if this actually won't work, you can let me know. I think this is going to work. It's just not going to be very economical on the space front. Also, I need my symmetry too bad. Forget the splitter. You and you. So the only thing you have left to do is to get the cold cryo back in. Wait, how did you screw this up? You should be rotated the other way. How did you screw that up? Yeah, that whole side is wrong. Oh, I see. So you don't need all four of them to touch each other. I could have them like this. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so we can't just have that come straight out of the back of the hub then. And then let's adjust where these go. So you're just going to come down like this. Pair of inserters here. One inserter here. Filter. Fusion cell. Rework your pipe so you can handle an easier underground. You can have it go like this now. And then where do you want to put your coolers? I guess if you really wanted to preserve symmetry, you could just have two and you could beacon them. Like here and here. Or you could squish them even closer together. You could have them go here and here. Cool, cool. You can connect here. And then I can just send these down the sides. Yeah, I could pipe route down the middle, but there's other stuff that I could put there too. I could put turrets there if this winds up being really close to the back of the ship. I could put accumulators there. It's gonna be too far to run a pipe. Wait, how have you... No, you're fine. Like this. And then you are gonna come down like this. There, you can do it a better way than this. I know you want to make your pipes nice and decorative, but you can actually just feed the cold fluoroketone down one side and then have the hot fluoroketone go up the other side, and it'll still be kind of symmetric. So don't lose any sleep over doing it that way. Like there's an elegance to this as well. And then you can do long pipe runs here without worrying about what it's going to intersect with. So that's all hot fluoroketone going through here. And then cold going out. But these are going to need beacons. How many? It's not going to tell you. Okay, we'll figure it out when we get there. Underground to pass through the hot between generators. I don't need to pass through the hop between generators because I can just do it at top and bottom and then loop it around the sides. Like, this is all four of them connected. So they'll be able to push hot into the cryo plants to cool it. I think this is fine. So let's square this off. And this is going to be our one little module. We're going to leave you here. You sit over there for later. Next, what are we going to need to make for fuel? I think that this is fine. It's asymmetric. I'm just moving it out of the way so that I can like look at it later. I'm just gonna build like a modular ship and then play dominoes with where all these parts go, basically. So here we're using 511 engine, and this fuel configuration has worked great. So 8 for thruster fuel and 8 for oxidizer. I think I actually just want to copy that wholesale. This structure has worked really well. So let's grab you, move you over here, and then we also need to bring along your assembler logic, or your inserter logic, which is that. So that's your rough framework, and then your rough framework over here is very much the same thing, but just flipped. So you would come over here, and then you would come here. And if you really wanted to double up on things, you could have both of them like that. So this is a... No, you can't do that. You could do this. Because I want to control what side of the belt asteroids go on and what side ammunition goes on. So that would be main belt here. You would be looking to take in oxide chunks. So we could run you like this. Something like that. And then ice and asteroids are always going back on the far side of the belt, so you'd want ammo on the near side. That could work. But just remember that's where your belt is going to go. And then do you want to do like some weird offset water tanks through here? No, I'm hating this. Well, maybe I'm not hating it. No, I'm hating that. Definitely hating that. And then again, we can have either accumulators or turrets in the middle, depending on whatever we need in that spot. We can align that very neatly with the middle of the ship if we need to. Stick you over here for later. Next, water. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. We have 18 plants melting water. So we're going to want something very similar. And then this is worked out as a really nice system for just generating ice. I'm tempted to keep this as well. Although I don't remember why this belt is squiggly there. That may just be decorative. I'm pretty sure it's decorative. But we can take you. Do not cut. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Undo. Put that back, please. Be careful with your cut tool. Copy. Move you over to Far Horizons. This can go anywhere. So we'll just stick you here for now. And you won't need that pipe in the middle. There's a reason you have ice on 2 belts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. You need 18 ice per second. There's actually not a reason that you need it on 2 belts. You could have it be on 1 mega belt. Like you could go filter here. Or you could have it on both sides for like aesthetics purposes. And then you need 18 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it's too many. Let's do this. Chem plant. Here. And here. And here and here. Just in case you need, you're actually going to need less water than you think because you're not running a nuclear reactor on this thing. How much water do you really need? 80, 160. Yeah, that's it. You only need 8. Go for 10 just in case go for 12 just in case you're forgetting something. 8, 10, 12. But that should be your ice. And then here you have beautiful space for tanks. So that's not horribly space efficient. You can do better. Last ship, or am I going to go for quality ships? I think I'm just going to get to Solar System Edge and be done. The playtime on this file is, I think, at like 180 hours. And I think that's sufficient. I think that's a good amount of Factorio. There's a bunch of other stuff that I want to play. Like, I am still having fun playing Factorio. Do not get me wrong. But I also really want to get to, like, Mind Over Magic, for example. There comes a time when Factorio must end. Like, it is a game that can go on forever if you want it to go on forever. But I don't want it to go on forever. Okay, numbers, add some zeros. Look, in the files that I was playing offline over the spring, I was hitting those numbers. I think my offline non-stream Space Age Mega Base is like 560 hours. But that's a base that's also had considerable idle time while I just sit around like doing stuff. So it's not really the same comparison, you know? You're at 70 on Pi. Dude, 70 on Pi is rookie numbers, though. Like, what, are you halfway to automating red science with 70 hours in Pionodons? All right. Much more compact water. Very good. You could actually get it even more compact. Slide this whole thing down one. And then you have water flow through like this. That's kind of funky. That's real funky. But it's good. I like it. I think it's alright. Turret space up here, once again. And then if I took fuel and I flipped it, it makes it kind of neat to plug water in. Like, what if this is the front of our ship? We can get turrets in here. How would you get ammo to those? No, there's a belt right here, actually. That's how you get ammo to them. Holy shit. Boom, boom, boom. Is how you handle that. And then you go like ammo, ammo, ammo. And then you just have a really narrow front of the ship. No, that's actually, that range is not good. You'd want to use like quality turrets for that. I think there might still be something to this, but the middle of this is still going to be a little wasted. It's probably just going to be accumulators again. Something like that. And then fuel can feed out the front, but you'd rather it feed out the back. Hey, the thing that's nice about this is the water hookups are so convenient. I'm just going to unify these. I don't currently have a plan for how these are going to hook up, but there's something about this that speaks to me. And I want these designs to be together for a while. Like this is something right here. I wish I could had room to fit solar in here at some point. Because we do need a lot of power to turn these generators on in the first place, don't we? So we are going to need to put a pretty considerable solar battery on this ship somewhere to get the fusion reactor to spin up. However, don't currently know where that'll be. You could be laser turrets instead, maybe. Just in case something gets really close to the middle of the ship. Like, this is good middle of the ship. Real happy about this right now. This is good. Also, I don't think you need to unbarrel water if you're using fusion either. I think fusion will just do that for you. I feel good about this so far, though. And then this is going to be where the main belt passes through. Main belt is also going to be up here. And if you run it like this, you do leave yourself room for turrets. No, because you need inserters. You need to pull it out one more. First two sciences and half of logistics. Trains are built, but going for batteries. Yeah. For what, like rushing roboports, I assume? Or is there something else you want to do with batteries? And then, yeah. Batteries are needed for combinators. Okay. Run you back down. We're getting so far ahead of ourselves right now, but whatever. Like, planning for rocket turrets already before we've built any of our foundries is hubris. But I'm thoroughly convinced that I want this to be front of the ship. Yeah, I'm sure. How am I loading the rocket turrets? Don't worry about that right now, okay? But that's a good point. Probably like this. If I had to guess. Now, the part that's really going to make people mad is like this belt. It's just, hold on. You're not ready for that one yet. You're not ready for what's going to happen up here shortly. Railgun. Pretty sure you're not in his firing arc. Yeah, you're not. Okay. Wait, why does this look different? What did you do differently here? There you go. This ship is never going to stop moving. So it is going to be okay to place railguns like this, where we're not going to have full coverage of the entire ship at all times. That's what you wanted. Should not be possible for anything to sneak up on this thing from the front. And then insert here, 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 here. So that's defenses for front of the ship taken care of. Now here's the part that people aren't going to like. For reasons known only to myself, no, this is so stupid. You should not do it like this. I don't want my no, there's such an easier way to do this. Never mind. We're not going to go absolutely insane. We're not going to completely lose our minds. You're safe. We're just going to turn these to the side. What I was going to do was attempt to build like a hybrid sushi belt. That would like load just this loop and then put back onto the belt. But, oh god. But it's such a stupid idea that I abandoned it immediately. So you're safe. You're safe from this madness. Instead, we're just going to do this, which is very normal and doesn't look suspicious at all. And then these belts are going to flow much further down. So, on this belt structure, we actually have a lot of room to expand along the sides of the ship, which is convenient. We should also put some grabbers in up here, because asteroid density up here is going to be very large. I'm going to run a full 4. And I'm going to run 2 more of them in here as well. I don't think you're going to be able to afford to do that. You need turret coverage up there, not collector coverage. Yeah, you're right. You're going to have to belt asteroids to get them onto the main belt here. But you're also going to have to slide the railguns up. Let's backtrack on this and think about it a bit. The railguns need to be way out in front. So I think what you'll actually need for them is you're going to need to supply them with their own separate belt. Yeah, have a good one, Room. I'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. Always good to see you. Pull you up to here. Pull you up to here for now. We're just going to let you sit up there. That's not final positions. It's just because I need to clear some space down here to think. You are going to need a lot of rocket turrets up here, because the giant asteroids shatter into big asteroids. So do something like this, and possibly even like this. And you're going to feed each other. So that's fine. You might also want 2 more at the front, like up here. No, that should be good enough coverage. That's 6, though. How many do you have on this thing? 1, 2, 3. You have 4 guarding the front. And that's been pretty good. I think you're going to want... I think you can get away with 6. If you were going to think about 8, you could do 8 like this. Yeah. And then if you slide this out by 1... No, it wouldn't matter. Trying to think of a place to put gun turrets out here. I don't think it's going to work the way I want it to, though. That corner is a problem. Might have to think about that later. And then you're going to need a lot of gun turrets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can go 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. Maybe. And then just daisy chain your inserters together. Same thing for up here. So that's beginning to take form. And now you have a nice place where you can split off railgun ammo. And you can figure out where you're going to put these things. You could have one here. With a belt that goes underground here and above ground there. And then inserts there. Eventually you'll have those rejoin, so you don't have to worry about this belt backing up and clogging everything. Because if it can't filter out shells, it's just going to stop everything. So you can come over here. It means you can go. And then remember, oh, you can load asteroids onto the belt that you're putting railgun shells onto. You can even put them on the right side. Oh, that's beautiful. That's going to work out so well. So if that's your plan, have a collector here. This is really one of the places where you probably want quality. But alas, you're not going to have it. Such a tight squeeze in there. Hey, Abuelita. How's it going? What is your coverage even like? You can barely grab anything. I think this will be okay, though. Slide you to here. And then you can grab her here. Not that far up. You can do that. Flip this horizontally. That's good coverage on those. And then you can select this half of the ship and flip horizontal. Looks like a jellyfish. It's coming together. It's definitely going to be a weird one. All right. Only having two collectors on the only having four collectors, maybe four collectors on the front is enough. Maybe that will be fine. Either way, you're going to flow down this way. Why do I feel like you're not symmetric right now? Oh, because you need to come down one earlier. You're like that. I have no idea if this will be adequate defenses. But we'll find out. Part of the mystery of life. If you had all the answers beforehand, it wouldn't be nearly as interesting. You're going to need laser turrets up here as well. To take pot shots at the asteroids that sneak through. Something like that. And then this is about the width that we're going to be working with for the whole ship. So we have room to fit in more infrastructure stuff further down here. It feels really light on defense. I think you need more laser turrets. I think your number of gun turrets is okay. But I think you need more lasers. Oh, you can rip all these accumulators out and put it in there instead. Because they'll actually be able to shoot to the outside of the ship. Just barely, but they'll be able to do it. Okay. That's good. That's really good. The other problem that you need to solve here is how you're getting your fuel and oxidizer out of this pipe labyrinth. So let's fix that now. Well, I can see the solution. It's going to be that. And then we're going to load you into a pair of tanks up here that holds fuel and oxidizer. We'll just have some lasers down there to cover. What was dinner? We made dumplings tonight. It was very good. Last time Amanda went to Australia, she brought back some chili oil, some Australian chili oil. So, or some chili seasoning. So we made chili oil, and then we had dumplings, and it was very good. So this is fuel plus water, or whatever we need water for, plus mainline defense. What else do you need? Well, you need like everything else. You will need ammo manufacture. Currently, you have 3 to 3, and that's because of this ratio. You can go 1 to 4 to 4. Yeah. So you're going to have a foundry on this side. One more down. You're going to have a crusher here that takes in metallic asteroids, that outputs metallic asteroids, takes in metallic asteroids. This is going to be the normal crushing recipe to make iron ore. And then you're going to feed iron ore into this smelter. You are going to make molten iron ore. You consume 6.25. You make 16. So you'll be totally at capacity. Then you need a second crusher here. Here. Just get some more space for things on the belt. You are going to take oxide asteroid chunks. You are going to take out calcite. And then this belt needs to swing over this way. Oh, no, it can. You can go like this. No, why would you do it like that? Just belt it. You don't need to do any of that fancy stuff. You can just put the crusher here. You take out calcite. You expel oxide. You take in oxide. You do advanced oxide crushing. Oxide chunk. Nice chunk. How about you, Abuito? What did you have for dinner? And then you can take in anything you want. Doesn't matter to me. No, you might need that space later. You don't take calcite out, actually. This whole thing can slide down by one. World's tiniest, most useless belt. Dokboki. Oh, good. Maybe you slide this whole thing down. Like, what if you just do this? And then you would be normal metallic. You would be take out metallic chunk. And then you would be take in anything. No filter. You would be calcite only. You would be iron only. Melt iron ore. Output this way. And then you can have 1, 2, 3, 4 foundries. Making iron plate. Leftovers for tomorrow? Heck yeah. Right? And then you actually don't want this to weave anymore because it's going to be your iron. Or I guess not weave, you just don't want it to squiggle. How much iron do you make? Not enough that I have to worry about throughput. But I'll do it anyway. Doesn't feel super space efficient right now, but yeah, we do have room for a cheeky missile turret back here, though. No, you have room for a cheeky asteroid collector back here, is what you have. Maybe room for two? Yeah, you have room for two asteroid collectors back here. How are you getting this fuel out, though? So your iron's going to block it. Your iron is going to block it if you leave it there. Well, no, not necessarily. But you do need to get it out of there before you build anything else. So you can have this run down like that. And then you can have the fuel get out of there like that. And then you can have the asteroids get out like that. But that's asteroids on the wrong side of the belt, I think. Well, you don't know yet. You actually haven't established it yet. No, you have. No, no, you haven't established it yet. No, you have, because you're putting asteroids away on the far side. So asteroids need to go on far side of the belt. And then did you figure out belt routing for your collectors up here? Yeah, that's the correct side. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Good, good, good. For lunch you made shrimp spring rolls with peanut sauce? That sounds really good. That sounds really, really good. So this is iron. We could belt iron, actually, is the one way that we could deal with this. And then we can just send it around to get picked up later. But we'd want to control how much was making it onto the belt. Just design this shit. I like it. I like that the engines are diagonal. That's fun. I like having ships that have a little bit more structure, or not structure, but like a little bit more shape. Like this one is kind of a flying wing. This thing turned out a little blobbier than I would like. Originally, I wanted it to be like wider and thinner, but like closer to this structure. This one, I think, is just going to end up being a or a long monstrosity. But I like that it's a little jagged around the edges. It's just the kind of thing that appeals to me personally for doing spaceship design. So how do I control how much iron makes it onto the belt? The reason for diagonal engine? It's so you get the easiest pass-throughs, right? If you just have to hook up uh, either oxidizer or fuel on like one side and then it passes through all of them. Only need one extra tile. Yeah, so it's you have engines as wide as the ship is. You don't have to spend any kind of extra on the piping. So you're gonna spit iron ore out like this. Or iron plates out like this. I guess this really doesn't matter. If we're gonna be loading onto one side of the belt anyway. And then we can keep running this pipe down, which is going to be carrying your oxidizer. I'm nervous about how undefended it's going to be over here. It shouldn't matter because the ship is never going to stop in orbit of a planet that isn't Nauvis. Actually, it may briefly stop in orbit outside of Aquilo because it would need to pick up fusion reactor cores. But you can run a separate munitions belt along here and it would be fine. Right? Yeah, you could run a sushi belt. You just have to wire it. I know how I would do that, so I'm not that worried about it. Can go 508. 508 is a quick ship. It is a very quick ship indeed. Rocket launcher can be much more interior. Like back there. Also, let's earmark a little bit of space for extra storage. Just before we get too ahead of ourselves here. I don't think I need a ton of extra, because this ship isn't going to be carrying much, but we'll give you like that much. Actually, I'll give you like this much. Because I need to remember to find a place for you later. In fact, I'm just going to plug it in. I know where it's going to live. I want it to pull directly out of the hub. It's going to just sit here. And yeah, it's asymmetric by 1, but that's fine. And if I really wanted to fix it, I could just do this. Because on the other side, there's the 1 separation of pipe there as well. So it looks weird, but now it is at least a square in the middle of the ship. So that's your power core. You're going to need a second iron melter to make steel. Are you also going to put steel on the belt, though? I think so. So you're going to control whether steel is allowed to go on this belt. And that's just going to be an easy circuit condition. Actually, I'm going to use a bulk inserter here, or a stack inserter. Maximize as much space as possible. You are going to be enabled when iron plate is less than 200. And you hold all belts. So that'll be fine. That puts steel onto the main belt, and then we can pull it off of the belt anywhere else that we need it to go. Let's copy you over. Frick. Copy you over to here. Check your steel ratios. You consume 30 molten iron. You make 93. So we can have 3 steel foundries on the other side. That'll eat 90. And then I'll just leave an iron at the... No, that's going to pollute the belt. You're just going to shave the last one. So this is going to put steel on the main belt. We do have a problem here that this is going to get interrupted by a splitter, and I actually don't want it to. So we're going to use an inserter there instead. As soon as I can figure out where to put it. Here? Yeah, that works. But then you put asteroids back onto this belt. So on the other side, oh, it's going to be really messy there. Because asteroids also wind up on that belt. But I want to keep the side segregation instead of just going full sushi. I can do this. I can run you through a splitter. We're not feeding any ammunition onto this belt except for railgun ammo. There's no other ammo for anything that makes it onto this belt. It's only laser turrets and railguns on the outer edge, and then all the gun turrets sit on the inner edge. So we can go like this. That will put railgun on the outer edge of the belt. And then you'd need a way to get asteroid on the inner edge. I'll think about that problem later. That's an important problem to solve, but I don't immediately have an answer. Also, I probably need to go to bed in like 5 minutes. But let's see how much more of this we can get done. We need to leave a space for thruster fuel to get out of here. You're going to go like that. Grab all this, just move it over horizontally. There's your inserter to get asteroids onto the belt. You also know that eventually you're going to have to signal those. So you could do that now. This interior one? No, it's just a straight shot like that. Right. So eventually you'll be connected up to a circuit network that tells you what you're allowed to grab. Put your space platform in here. You don't have to change these recipes. They're going to be making the thing that you want already. Like, so far, I feel like this is coming together really well. But I think I'm also starting to get overwhelmed by doing it all at once. And I still need to find a way to get gun turrets out here. You can have these rocket launchers live on the interior, and that'll be A-okay. Not worried about those at all. But I think I'm going to need gun turret coverage out here. And I think it might end up looking something like this. Where down here, we're going to have a belt that only grabs ammo. And just has a really simple circuit like this. And then it says if ammo is less than like 50, you're on. And then it just pipes ammo out here. And then you could go underground. You can have a pair of turrets here. And that would give me a comfortable amount of coverage on this side of the ship. We can just line a couple laser turrets down here as well. The laser is basically free. We can just do something like this. Fill in that gap. Fill in this gap. So, like, this is a thing that could work. Copy you over. Except that refinery isn't going to exist. What else could we put in its place? You know what? That refinery actually could exist. Because this needs to go on the far side of the belt. You can just have it long-handed insert over there directly. And then we'll have just a little, like, this is going to eat... Oh, you eat 37.5. I thought you ate 30, but I forgot about your productivity. I might just speed module these to get the ratio a little better. Or I could let it run like this and just say that it's got like a built-in buffer. So you would have the same condition that this one has. Fill this in, fill this in, fill this in. Alright, I think I gotta go to bed. 1:30 a.m. here. Also getting too tired to plan a ship. But this feels like it's coming together nicely. We're gonna have a bunch of manufacturing bricks here in the back. We're gonna have like 4 bullet assemblers. We're going to have, I probably want to double the amount of rockets this thing makes. So that would be 8 carbon grinders, 4 coal synthesis plants, 8 chemical plants. That's also going to be a, well, how much of a water drain are you? Yeah, it's not that bad. We can always like snip this part off and slide this whole section of the ship up a little bit if we decide we need more water. But this should be plenty, I hope. And we'll find out as we get into testing. So I just want to earmark out how much I need. This is going to be firearm magazines. You make 4, 8, 12, 16, 20-ish, and then you consume 20. So that's fine. We're going to need 8 crushers for sulfur. Which is... Oh, is it advanced or normal? Advanced. Okay. So we'll need that. We will need 4 of you for coal synthesis. We will need 8 explosive plants. And then we will need 8 rocket manufacturers. Woof. That feels overbuilt. Maybe I can go to 6. We go to 6, 6, 3, 6. And we'd say that's what we still have to make. So there's going to be like some belting for that, obviously. There's also going to be engines. Can I do some of them in cryo? I can. But the cryo footprint is a lot bigger than the chemical plant footprint. And I think it's only really going to be worth it if I'm beaconing them. Or not beaconing them, moduling them. And I don't know that I'm going to module them because I don't have a good read on just how much power this ship can produce yet. If it turns out that it can produce a lot of power, I can definitely downsize it. But like a cryo plant at 5x5 is just a big pain to plan around. So I'm going to do them in chem plans for now. And I'm going to hope that that works out. We also need to add in our supplementary crushers at some point. Those can just go anywhere on the belt. And then we're also going to need to add in our engines. Do 5, 6, 11. Let's go plug in the engines now. Half would be here. 1. 1. No, you're going to hate that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that'll be about as wide as the ship is. So we can pipe all of these together later, can figure out exactly how they're going to function. But this is the remaining infrastructure that needs to be built on the ship. It's... Oh, you know what we're going to need? No, that's not even close to how much we need. We need railgun ammo too. Hold on. Can you show me one assembler? Yeah, we need to make all the railgun ammo up here too. You make 0.05 per second. I feel like if I can shoot a railgun every half second, I'm probably pretty comfortable. So that would mean I need 10 of these. You would need 2.5 steel. You only need 1 steel plant. Because your steel productivity is so good. Like, that's 2.87 steel by itself. You're going to have to change all this belting around. Make this one the steel one, actually. And then these 3 can be the iron, and they feed into this assembler just fine. So you're actually going to have 7 iron plate manufacturers. You need an extra 0.1 you need an extra 1 explosive per second. So you are going to need 2 more of these, which means you're going to need 1 more of these, which means you're going to need 2 more of these. And then what are the other 2 that you need? None. That was it. Those are the only crushers you were worried about. And then you need half of a copper wire per second times, you need 5 copper wire per second. You will make 12 per second. You make 93.7. You consume 20. Yeah, you'll be fine. You can roll 1 and 1. So that's actually the infrastructure that you need to build still. But that's okay. There's space to give on this ship. I maybe want to make it a little fatter here at the back. Like just eyeballing. Fatten it out to like here. Because if we fatten it out to here, then we can have some asteroid collectors like here and here and here. And then like here and here and here. I can have one railgun that's covering, oh, yeah, I can have one railgun that's covering each of them off at like this corner. It should not be possible for any to sneak by if I put one like here and here. And I think that'll just be like a neat ship design overall. So we'll see if we can aim for something like that. But I want to build something that's a little different. I want it to look unique and distinct from all the other ships that we have. So we are going to take care of that next time. But for the first half of the ship that I've built here so far, I think it's really good. I'm very happy with it. And yeah, we'll keep going with this next time. So next stream is going to be Friday. If you want to know when that is going to be going live, I've got a Discord for you that you can join for stream pings. If you want to catch up on Factorio episodes in the past, I also have a VODs channel for you, which occasionally posts videos that I never streamed in the first place. We're currently doing a Planet Zoo playthrough over there because I thought it would be more interesting to make as YouTube videos rather than a stream. So if you want to catch that kind of stuff out, you can go over and take a look. But till then, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and I will catch you around on Friday to welcome in the weekend. Until then, take care. Have a good rest of your night.